Whether you like it or not, the Beast is easily one of the most iconic roller coasters in the United States. And when it opened in 1979, it was the tallest, fastest, and longest roller coaster in the world. And it actually still holds the record for the longest wooden roller coaster in the world. But to learn more about this beast of a coaster, we have to learn a little bit more about one man, Charles Dinn. Now, way back in the late 1970s, Dinn served as the director of construction, maintenance, and engineering at Kings Island. And his most significant installation was the subject of today's story. Now, while overseeing construction of the Beast, Dinn learned valuable information that led him to start, alongside Curtis D. Summers, the Dinn Corporation in 1983. And for 8 years, they built some of the best roller coasters of their time. Unfortunately, however, in 1991, there was a dispute with Efteling in the Netherlands, and Charles Dinn officially closed the Dinn Corporation. But that is not where the legacy of the Beast ends. Oh no, Charles's daughter, Denise, went on to form Custom Coasters International, and when that company closed its doors, the Gravity Group and Great Coasters International were formed, with both of those companies being major players in today's wooden roller coaster industry. Now, let's discover what makes the Beast so legendary. The first thing that makes the Beast so legendary is the ride experience. Let's take an in-depth look, element by element. After boarding the train, the Beast has a few slow turns before entering the first of 2 lift hills, this one at 110 feet tall. While you ascend the lift, you get a great view of the back half of Diamondback's layout. Once you reach the crest of the lift, you head down the surprisingly steep first drop. And when I rode, I was in the back half of the train while it was pouring rain, so this drop felt absolutely insane. After the drop, you enter a short tunnel before turning left into a very drawn out airtime hill, which doesn't have too much force to it. Next, you rise up and turn right before entering a very long covered section of track, which gives you a great moment to take in the amazing woodland setting. But this doesn't last long as the Beast turns to the right before banking to the left into a second tunnel, this one lasting far longer than the first. As you exit the tunnel, you turn right before heading upwards, then having another turn to the right, and then you guessed it, a turn to the right. But at least this one has a drawn out airtime hill after it. Next up, the Beast continues straight before entering the second lift, this one being slightly shorter than the first. As you cross the top of the lift, you officially start the Beast's legendary finale. You turn to the left and head down a very shallow and awkwardly banked drop before heading into one of the craziest elements on any roller coaster, an absolutely insane 540-degree helix, which by the way is almost entirely enclosed in a tunnel. And this helix is no sleeper either. It has sustained positive G's and laterals for 15 seconds. And this part of the ride is easily my favorite part of the ride. After the helix, you turn a little to the right and head up one final airtime hill, before entering the literally 500-foot long brake run. And that ends your 7,361-foot long journey on the Beast. Next, we're going to take a look at the Beast trains, which, if you didn't already know, used to be very different to what they are today. In fact, the Beast used to run very old school 4-bench trains from PTC, but in its first year of operation, it was clear that these trains were far too old for the Beast's modern design. So after its first season of operation, Kings Island fully rebuilt these trains, which also reduced the car to 3 rows. And this is why some of the air gates in the station do not quite line up with their respective rows. Also, when the ride first opened, the front cars of each train were painted red, with subsequent cars fading to yellow. However, when the trains got overhauled and rebuilt, they painted all the cars a solid red. However, for the Beast's 40th anniversary in 2019, the Beast got repainted with the original color scheme to honor its legacy. And that is the complicated history of the Beast trains. But just how good are these trains? Personally, I never really have had a problem with the PTC trains, but I definitely have been on more comfortable roller coasters. Finally, we're going to talk a little about what really makes the ride legendary. Now, if you saw my community post a few weeks ago, you would know that I actually did not get to ride the Beast at night because of storms. Yes, this is what prevented me from getting a Beast night ride. I'm still a little salty about that one. But hey, it gives me a reason to go back to Kings Island. And while I can't speak to how good Beast night rides are, Kings Island literally has a sign in the station that says that the night rides are famous. And from watching other roller coaster content creators' content on Kings Island, I hereby give you an accurate representation of the Beast at night. Anyway, now it's time for some final thoughts. The Beast is truly a legendary ride. Ask any roller coaster enthusiast, or even members of the general public, if they've heard of the Beast at Kings Island, and chances are they will say yes. And while it isn't the best ride in the park, it is undeniable how this ride has impacted the roller coaster industry in so many ways. What do you think of the Beast? Tell me in the comments below. Have a good one. Bye.